Hello, hello, we're live. How's it going, everyone? How are you doing, Shawn?
I'm doing good. Hello, everyone. Hello, Chris. Welcome to episode 14 of This Podcast Does Not Have a Name
And that was
for
not my
January
phone.
5th.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I wasn't watching your screen, so I'm not actually sure what happened.
I think
So,
my phone uh message noise may have came through the microphone, so whoops.
uh, I didn't hear anything. So, but yeah, this is the episode for January 5th, 2022. So, happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year, Chris.
Happy
How's it
holidays,
hanging?
happy new year. Uh Same as always. It's cold as fuck over here. Like
What's the
minus
weather?
I don't know about today, but the last couple days, even though they claimed it was supposed to be, the weather predictions of like maybe minus 15 or 20, it was minus 45 last time I had to go into work again.
Holy shit. That's degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Negative. Oh my
Well,
god,
like
negative 45.
40, 45 with the wind chill.
Oh, with wind chill. Okay, I was gonna say what with. Okay, I
Well,
was gonna ask you like what.
for me, the wind chill matters. So since I
Of
have
course.
to go
Walk.
through walk or bike, and I should have walked because my bike died halfway or on the way leaving work. So
Like recently?
yeah, like the battery died, so I had to push the bike home.
Oh, battery. You have a battery in your bike?
Yes, I've got an e-bike,
Oh, is it like for pedaling or for like the lights? So it's like for safety.
both.
Okay, interesting. I never knew that. That's pretty awesome actually. It's good exercise for your legs.
Well, the e-bike isn't so much. But because it always needs to be turned on, otherwise you can't fucking pedal it.
Hello, Smithers. You are quite good at turning me on.
No, my
I
bike,
love that sense.
my bike does not speak to me.
Damn it. Get a new bike. Anyways. So what
Anyways,
else?
what have I been up to really?
Hmm.
Uh, Geez, what haven't I been up to other than nothing? No. I finished off. Oh, what's it called? Furuba, Fruits Basket Season 3.
Okay.
That was a really good end. Very emotional halfway through that season where I thought it might have ended and was saying to myself at work, you can't end like this. You can't end the series like this. You can't.
The first stage is denial, Chris.
Well, they didn't, and there's no way they would end the series. I mean, they could have, but I don't think that they would have ended the series like that. Like with a character dying,
Oh
or
wow.
with a character probably dying. And I was like, they're not going to end it right here. That'd be way too depressing a road for all these characters to go down. To have this happen, it would be the worst thing. Like this isn't Clannad, and this is it. Some other shows I can't remember the name of. They can't end it like that. It was weird getting through it, and then seeing the last few episodes where everyone has a happy ending. Like, oh, that's I don't know if I like that either.
Hmm.
Like
So
it's
you don't want an episode where someone dies, and you don't want someone where someone was happy ever after. So you
no,
just want someone to get critically injured,
I mean I've
pretty
seen a show
much.
like that too, and then it ended up becoming a very depressing series because of that. But no, it's not that. It's just that everyone got a happy ending. Every main character in the show got some closure and a happy ending. Like, oh, that's a bit weird. It all happens at the same time at the end of the year. Like, oh, that's the problem. So I expected, certain things to happen, and they kind of do, but it's not quite the same as what happened in this. So, but
Right.
I still think overall it was good, very good
Good.
end to the series. I'm glad it wasn't crap. Like they took the series a lot further along in the manga than the original animated series went. And for a series that's kind of started off a little depressing but more humorous to end on such a serious note or more depressing and happy note at the end was a bit of a turn. So, but good.
It's good.
Animation's good. Voices, I believe it's all the same voice actors. and that came back. So it makes it even better when you get so used to their voices. I don't know about the English cast. I think the English cast was the same as well. I hope so, because that's the only one I've listened to in English. Or
Oh,
when they brought it over here, I never listened to the Japanese or never listened to the Japanese cast. So,
okay.
but good, good. Other than that, I just spent like all night, or the last couple nights I had, instead of streaming, I was playing Cyberpunk,
Okay.
getting lost in that. Finally get to meet Johnny
Keanu?
Silverhand. Yep, he's now inside my head, and he's in a lot more quests than I thought. So, um, I played the game before for a bit before what back when it was super buggy. Now it's not as buggy, but still buggy. Which will happen with physics games. I'll explain later. Um, I did a couple quests. One specific one I can say is one of the cyber psychosis quests you got to do. Basically, you got to go help out or try to incapacitate some people suffering from cyber psychosis, like they've gone crazy, they've gone off the deep end. And I walked into the mission, checked where he was, took him down, and then that was the end of the mission. But now that I'm playing through it again, I've got Johnny in my head. And when I walked up to the quest for the first time, Johnny appears next to one of the dead bodies. He's like, huh. And he makes a remark of what's going on. I'm like, that's interesting. That never happened before. So he's added into some quests that you may not know about if you've done the quest
Oh,
before.
huh. So that's kind of strange that they kind of retroactively changed like
I
non DLC stuff, you know?
I don't think it was retroactively. I just never had Johnny in my head before. So he's
Oh, I
in
see what you're saying.
quests. If you don't have him, he won't appear.
Right.
But if
I
he,
see. I see.
yeah. So it's a really cool thing. I didn't think that they would do that. And he's appearing in front of other ones. Like there was a musician, which I don't think I never made it to that part in the. Oh no, I guess you couldn't make it to that part of the mission. It's in Chinatown, and he sits down and has a big conversation with you about the musician. So I'm like wondering how many other quests. I guess it could only be ones on the main island, but still, that's a good 100 or so quests, maybe less, 50 quests that he could appear in or during.
Oh wow. That's a lot.
A lot just for like, a couple lines of dialogue that he does that people just wouldn't hear. It really doesn't matter, but it adds to, having him there, right?
I mean, if you're hiring a big star like Keanu, you might as well squeeze out every little thing you can and put him in every little location you can, you know?
Make the money worth it. Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much. But yeah, I'm liking the game. As for like bugs, I walked into a mission, was wandering around and heard lots of scuffling going on. And as I wandered around, I seen a shelving unit with like boxes and stuff on it, but the boxes had spawned underneath the shelving unit. So the
Oh
shelving units didn't know what to do because it was supposed to sit flat on the ground and couldn't reach the ground, so it just started shaking violently.
no.
And yeah, it was a good times. Just watching that happen, going, well, I guess that'll happen in physics-based games, or things may not spawn properly. It's like if you ever play Skyrim and just start filling your house full of skulls. If you leave, save your game, uh, and restart your game so that all the memory is rebooted back to zero, and then you enter your house again, sometimes the skulls will explode everywhere
Oh
because
really?
they're trying to spawn on top of each other in some cases, or try to occupy that same space. So sometimes they will just freak out and just explode. It's pretty cool.
So that's only for skulls and not something like cheese wheels,
Oh,
Chris? Did you get that reference?
yes, I got the reference. I explicitly use skulls. So I watch Sips, and that happened to him sometimes. And he was collecting skulls in his Skyrim playthrough. But yeah, so it would happen for like any kind of physics-based object that you compile into like a certain area. There would usually be some physics shenanigans when they respawn, or when you
Pretty
reload
cool.
said area. But that and I just spent last night bloody trying to set up stuff for the stream on XSplit, wondering if that's any good, or seeing how well their webcam things work, or setting up this webcam, my GoPro
And
and
the
other
verdict?
things. No, I haven't gotten it completely set up because I was like trying to work on 3 or 4 different things at the same time. So
Okay.
still working on that, wondering if we'll swap over to using that instead. I was thinking of doing it today, so I think I got the webcam thing set up, but I don't know how well the uh, audio is set up, so I'm not going to touch that until I test that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just me working on my own stuff and not doing any streams. Haven't felt like it. Oh yeah, I was actually for future streams. I downloaded the Dolphin emulator, which is the GameCube
Okay.
emulator,
And
and
which game were you thinking of?
Resident Evil 0.
Okay.
I found out through that I cannot, or the Dolphin emulator does not run native games. Does not run the actual discs.
Like, what do you mean by that?
With the PlayStation emulation stuff, like PS2E or PS2X, whatever it's called, you can put a PS2 game into your system and it'll read the disc.
Like into your PC, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
if you have a disk drive. The
Right.
GameCube emulator does not.
I
It
see what you're saying. Okay.
cannot read the disc,
So,
and that's probably because the disk drive, even for ripping and reading the discs, you need a specific set of like 4 disk drives, which are fucking old and expensive.
strange. And if I recall correctly, the GameCube discs have always been really tiny, tiny discs, like mini discs
They
almost.
are, but the inside of a lot of disc trays do have a mini disc section in them, at least the ones that I've always seen. So I was like, oh, so it'll work. But it doesn't work. So I end up having to find and acquire my version of my legally owned game or
Right.
games.
You can't, and this is completely legal in the world of emulation. If you own the game, well, physically, let's say, for example, you are allowed to make a backup. That is within your legal rights. That's always been the case.
Yep.
Even though some companies or organizations did not want you to do that, and or want you to even know that, it's still within your legal rights, no matter what anyone says. Right? You are allowed to make backups of your software as long as the backups are only for you. So that has always been a legal
Yeah, and
thing.
it's
So
only
emulation
for
has,
personal use, not for.
yes, and that's why emulators are never banned. The emulators themselves are not doing anything wrong. It's
Yeah,
the ROMs for the games.
it's how you
That's why,
acquire things you don't legally own.
yes,
But yeah, I've got like all the RE games. So I've got the first Resident Evil 1 remake, not the remake remaster or remake, whatever you want to call them.
remake of RE.
But yeah, I've got those. I was gonna do 0 and go through 0, then work my way up. Was it 1, 2, Code Veronica 3, 4, or is it 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica 4?
I never played Code Veronica, so I'm not sure if that happens before or after three.
Yeah,
I'm not actually
I
sure.
don't remember, but yeah, it's
All I remember is that it originally came out on Dreamcast, I believe.
uh
That was I think
yes, I
so.
believe so. But yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I've got them all on GameCube. Wanted to play them, and I didn't want to pull up my Wii or my Wii U because the Wii U can emulate the Wii, and the Wii could play GameCube games. But I would need to, no matter what, have to have my Wii remotes and put batteries in them. And fuck that, I don't want to do that. So if I could
You
figure out how
can't
to,
uh,
hmm?
you can't just like straight up hook your GameCube controllers to the Wii.
Yeah, but you would still need the Wii controllers to be able to navigate the menus. And
Oh, they don't allow you to navigate the GameCube controllers. That's silly.
100% certain you cannot.
Wonder why they
And with the
made.
Wii emulation on the Wii U, you need to have a Wii controller to navigate the menus. They don't allow you to use the Wii U controller.
Right. I know
It's fucking
a
stupid.
couple times now you did cut out for like a full second, so I missed the last thing you said.
Okay. Uh, the I believe that on the Wii, you have to have the Wii controllers, even if you have GameCube controller hooked up, which I don't think I have GameCube controllers anymore.
Okay,
But
that's what I
still,
thought.
I don't think you can navigate the menus with the GameCube controller. I think it's only for specific games,
Hmm.
which are only GameCube games. And when you emulate or use the backwards compatibility Wii mode on the Wii U, you have to have the Wii controller hooked up to navigate the Wii menus.
Oh,
And you can't use the Wii U controller, which is stupid. Like
that's so stupid. I don't know why they made that. Uh, that's just
Nintendo.
yes, I know. I
That's
like how you. I like how you're doing this right now.
yeah.
Nintendo Direct.
I'm doing the direct kind of hands. But yes,
Yes. Was that?
it's because of Nintendo. That's why they're that
Yes,
backwards. Even in their backwards
pretty much.
compatibility, they are that backwards.
What was the president of Nintendo before? This guy, not president, but who was he? Like
Of
Iwata, Iwata, right? Nintendo
I
Direct.
want to say it was Iwata, but I don't remember exactly for
Yeah,
sure who it was. I was gonna say
I
Matsuda,
think
but I
he's
think Matsuda's now the.
yeah. I think Matsuda's now. I think Iwata was the one who popularized this handmail shifting.
I think so. I mean, people remember it, so.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Try and get that set up and get my Pro controller hooked up to the PC without having to go through Steam, because then I could use it with other programs
if
like
you figure that out,
emulation.
let me know because I have a pro controller now.
I think I've got it set up. I just need to double check. I've reset. It was working when I went to bed last night, but I said that about my DualShock 4 control or DualShock, yeah, my DualShock 4, like the one for the PS4.
Hmm.
And then I went to bed and woke up the next day and it wouldn't hook up wirelessly anymore. So we'll
Oh
see
wow.
how it works now. Well, I'll
So
test the controller later.
speaking of the pro controller, I am so shocked at how similar it is to the Xbox controller. It's like pretty much one for one, like the placements of everything,
Yeah,
you know.
it's pretty much the
And
same thing.
and I don't blame Nintendo because I've always liked the Xbox 360 and onwards controllers. I've in my they're my go-to controllers of choice. In my opinion, those are the best controllers of all time. Just my opinion. But I'm surprised Nintendo like so directly copied everything about the controller.
Yeah, and in my opinion, you're crazy. I think the PlayStation controller is better. I like it that it's
I
not so fat and ugly and feels gross in my hands. I like the more
it doesn't
thinner form factor of the PlayStation controller, personally.
I see. I've had PlayStation DualShock controllers before. I it's not a bad controller. I'm just saying a personal preference is the Xbox one, right? They're
Yeah.
both good controllers, obviously, because they kept the same design for several console generations at this point, with very minor iterations
Hmm.
between them. But
That's true.
for me, I don't like the thumbsticks being right next to each other, like in terms of like the horizontal plane,
Mm,
right? For the PlayStation, I think it's more natural the way the Xbox and then the what's it called, the Pro controller have it. It's just a more natural feel for me. I
yeah.
just really like that.
For me, I have tiny hands, so I like smaller controllers, which
Hmm.
is probably why when I was actually using the Wii and like using, I guess the Joy Cons are fucking too, they're too thin, the Joy Cons. But if when I was using the Wii and that, those controllers felt really good in my hands because they're not that big; they're really small compared to what you would think of for a controller. But yeah, anyway, that's what I've been up to. Just trying to get crap set up for future stuff, and so I can replay my old games again on PC or in a
Nice.
modern sense, I guess. Yeah, that's it. And you, what have you? What have?
So
Ugh, fuck.
I'll
Go ahead.
get to what I was up to this week, but today I'm not sure if you looked at my Discord, Chris. I posted like 2 or 3 hours ago now, but like I've had a little adventure today. So
I did not
worst
see.
pretty bad day at work for me. First of all, someone on my team, we're like at work, we're a team of 6 people where I work, so like in my area, we're a team of 6 people. One of so someone who's in her like 50s, she lied about having been vaccinated for like as long as I've been there now, which is like mid October is when I started. So She was there before I was, and she was lying about having the proof of vaccination, because when they asked for proof today, because of Ontario, at least, Chris, I'm not sure if you know this, but like Ontario, we're kind of back into stage two, kind of like partial lockdown again. So now, they're a lot more strict. They're asking everyone for proof of vaccination. So she lied several times throughout the month, saying, "Oh yeah, I have it." And then today they asked for the proof, and nope, I don't have it. So she got sent home, and she's not coming back for a while. So yeah, my team was pretty pissed at her, because rightfully so, because if you think someone's vaccinated, and they're not, that kind of puts in someone else's words, not mine, that she put our health at risk, pretty much. So yeah, so that happened, and then also when I went for my lunch today, I was in my car. Like, okay, so you can't dine in, but you can do takeout and drive through. That's
Mm.
that's as normal. So for lunch today, I did drive through. I in my car. I drove back, but when I drove back to work, um, I felt like I felt and heard the tire of one of my car tire just like done. It was like completely flat. Not just like a kind of flat, but like the rim was touching the road flat, pretty much. I looked at it, and like literally is like the tire on the ground is like not like no air. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. But then after work, I kind of spent. Today there was a wind warning, like on your phone, like the weather network. It said like warning, wind warning in effect, and also started snowing right when work stopped for me. Like when I was off of work, I'm like, well, this is fucking fantastic. So this
Great.
is the first time in this specific vehicle since I got it, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now, that I've had to look for my spare tire. So I had to like Google, like, where's my spare tire in my trunk, because I couldn't figure it out. Like, okay, there it is. And the tools I got were so jank, they were so rusted and not working. They had a jack. It took Anyways, I don't want to go into details, but it was like what the worst jack I've used in my life. It took forever to actually jack it up, and the kind of like the L-shaped crowbar, so, the mini crowbar you use
Mm.
to get the nuts off the like off your tire. It wasn't working. Like, it was like rusted out pretty much. I'm like, who used this? Like, why is there all this rust on here? So I tried for like an hour and a half, and then around 5 to 5:30 in Ontario is when it starts getting like pitch black. Like, it's not sunlight, like darkness. It's like like literally day and night.
Mm.
So I said, screw it. I found CAA, which is the Canadian Automotive Association, pretty much Canada's version of AAA, roadside assistance. And basically, yeah, they came, they did the thing in like 2 minutes. I said, because like it was at the point, or I thought the bolts were rusted, because I put the wrench, or not wrench, the crank, whatever you want to call
Mm.
it, into, and it wouldn't turn. I used all my strength, it wouldn't turn. I stood on it. I stood on the thing that was attached to the bolt. I put all my body weight on it, and it still wouldn't turn. So I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point. So I had to phone them. It got fixed. I got a spare tire. I still got my tire, but it was terrible because there's all this wind and snow, and like, as I said, wind warning. So like I had to like deal with the elements. That sucked. That was a bad day at work for me today. So yeah, I actually just came home like a couple hours ago, even less. So generally I'd be home like, well, my time, Chris, would be like 4:30, but now it's like 8:30 for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of sucks. Not a good day for me for those two reasons. But anyways, not counting today, week has been really good. Yesterday, let's see what I play or watch. Well, I resubbed to Disney Plus, because there's I sub like for a month out of like every like 3 or 4, because there's some shows I want to watch. I watched half of Hawkeye so far. I'll probably watch Marvel's What If after that, and then there's the Book of Boba Fett, Chris, that came out last week. I think every Wednesday. So every day we do our podcast, a new episode comes out for Boba Fett. So Boba Fett is kind of, I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, but if you watch Mandalorian season 2, then it kind of leads into this new series, the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, Boba Fett's back. It's a show with his name in it, so obviously he's
He's
back.
he's
And
back in pug
yeah,
form.
exactly. So he kind of came back originally in The Mandalorian season 2, and now he's kind of like has his own series, which was teased at the end of Mandalorian season
Hmm.
2. So yeah, so I'm gonna watch that after those two. So been watching that. Yesterday I played It Takes Two with Mandy. That was a really fun stream. One of the best nights I've had in a long time. It was really fun with her. What else?
I've been
Have
missing
not.
all your recent streams, even your tweets about them. Whenever I look or I jump on, you're never on. So I'm like, well, that sucks.
Oh well, it's fine.
Yeah.
What else? What else? So I played. Oh, that I forgot to do this today, so I'll do this while I'm talking because I want to show this to you, Chris. I was going to send this to you on the Switch, but it's covered. It's kind of too late at this point. So I was playing some Mario Odyssey, and and you know how like every time you go to a new kingdom, it's like you have to collect this many moons, and it shows on the top left like an empty like circle for every moon you need to collect.
Mm,
I said to myself, remember how last week I said you can't get every moon in the kingdom? Apparently, like Toad and the bird, the parrot says, "Oh, I have no more hints for you." But I look at the list, I'm like, there's more moons, but you can't collect them until you beat the game and come back. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I wondered to myself, is it possible to get like to fill up that part of the screen with all the moons before you leave the kingdom? Because the second you go back to the Odyssey, you give all your moons away.
mm,
So I'm like, what happens if I never go back to the Odyssey until I have to? And this was the result. It wasn't quite what I was going for, but you can kind of see. This is a
yeah.
screenshot, by
I
the way.
seen
Where is it?
that.
All those moons. I was like, is it possible to get to fill up this entire part of the screen with moons? Well, that's as many as I could, and I think each row is 10, I believe. So one, two, three, four. So that's 6 rows plus 5, so 65 moons on that screenshot. Before I went back to the Odyssey, I'm like, well, that's all the moons I can get in this kingdom right now. So I'm just gonna
Yeah, and
quickly put
that's
this
the
back.
Sand Kingdom or whatever it is,
Yeah, that's the third kingdom, the same kingdom.
or whatever it's called. Yeah, the I didn't think there was that many moons when you first went to the place because I know more get unlocked. So,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
think that
I
kingdom
kind
has
of
like
did this.
72 total.
I think I kept doing the same thing, trying to not go back to the Odyssey as often, just collect as many as I can.
I'm like, can I eventually fill up the entire side of screen with moons without going back? That'd be cool. But I don't think a single kingdom would have that many
I
moons
don't
in
think
one
so. That'd be a few
location.
hundred, I think, in one
Yeah.
place.
That screenshot was 65, and that was like almost half the screen. So double that pretty much. But yeah, Mario Odyssey, I said it was really odd, and I still stand by that, especially after meeting a normal human being in the desert. Like he's like just like one guy from the kingdom, from like the I don't know what's called the Metropolis Kingdom or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so fucking bizarre seeing like real life humans next to Mario, who's obviously like deformed compared to like a normal human being, right?
yeah.
So it's
I
kind of weird
mean,
seeing that.
I mean that is Mario's normal. I mean, no, technically Mario's normal form is his small form. If you didn't
That's
know
what I'm
that.
saying. It's so weird. It's so weird to like see the comparison, right?
Well,
Like
like the
normal
version,
human Mario,
yeah, but
you know?
the version of Mario you play as now as in games is the Super Mario version of him. The real version of Mario is half that size. He became Super Mario when he ate weird mushrooms in the Mushroom Kingdom and grew like twice his normal size. Like Mario is a weirdo. Like if he's supposed to come from the Metropolis land originally, he's a weirdo in that place because he's like the size of people's knees for real.
Yeah.
It's just
And
over
like
the
it's
years they've made Super Mario his default form now.
I'm not just talking about size though. I'm talking about like,
The way he looks, like his huge bulbous nose and his huge anime eyes.
that too, but like more so like the way his body is shaped is not the way like a normal human body, like even inside the game from like a
Mm,
regular citizen from that kingdom. Like that kingdom people is like us essentially, like same proportions, same
yeah,
everything. His body proportions are all off,
I wonder
obviously.
what world he came from, because you know with the Metropolis, what world the Metropolis Kingdom is, right?
It's the Rosalina zone, right?
No, Rosaline is the space goddess.
Sorry, not Paulina. I
Yeah,
meant Paulina, whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Mario's original girlfriend from Donkey Kong.
yeah, the one you
Yeah.
see the tower that Donkey Kong climbed with and took
Oh,
the loot.
really? Oh,
Kind
shit.
of. They have a reference to the original game, but there is the tower that I believe is supposed to be what Donkey Kong kind
Okay.
of King
Huh.
Kong his way onto.
I am
Like it
really
obviously doesn't
enjoying.
look the same because they had to make a game out of out of it, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like there's the Empire State equivalent in that game.
Okay. I am really enjoying those sections in every world. There's like several of these where like you play like the original Mario Brothers, like you go like inside the wall or something. Like you go into a warp pipe and like you're 2D all of a sudden. It's kind of like reminds me of that one 3DS game, Link's shit. What's it called? Link's not
Mm,
Link's Awakening. The one where you travel to Dark Rule instead of
yeah,
Hyrule.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. Where you can
It's
phase
a
into the wall.
sequel. It's a sequel to Link to the Past. I'm trying to remember the name. Anyways, the one Zelda game for 3DS where like you become a painting on the wall and you travel around the room like in a 2D form. That's what you're doing in those Mario levels, and it's like so fun because it's literally like the 2D version of Mario, like from his original game. So
Yeah. It
yeah, I
sucks that
love those sections.
they're so short lived. They also I don't believe use like the Mario one physics. It's a different physics engine for those.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
surprise me.
it doesn't feel the same, but the what do you call it? The love is still there of them trying to
Mhm.
show that off. Like as a
So
celebration of Mario.
oh, for sure, and I think they did a really good job on those levels.
I want
But
to hear your opinion
something
when you get to the end. Because at the
okay,
end is my favorite part of the entire game.
apparently I need to figure out, Chris, I need to get a Bowser amiibo or find out how to trick the system to thinking you have one. I know there's a way.
Oh.
Because apparently he shows you where the purple coins are. I'm missing like 3 purple coins in the desert and I'm like, "You know what? Like I paid Toad like 50 coins sometimes to show me like where a moon is, but I've never looked online. So
Yeah.
everything I've done has been myself or through the game helping me by paying the currency, kind of like paying for it. Anyways, I'm missing 3 out of 100 purple coins in the Desert Kingdom. I'm like, I don't know where it is. And like, I just saw a random comment on Reddit saying, "Oh, if you have the Bowser amiibo, to give you a hint." I'm like,
Which
"Oh,
Bowser
that's
amiibo? The wedding of
the
Bowser
wedding
amiibo?
one."
Okay.
Yeah, and I know Odyssey came out like 4 or 5 years ago, so my chances of finding one are very slim. So I
Yeah,
need like to.
I need to get the Bowser one. I've got the Mario. Is it Mario and Peach one, or is it just
Yeah,
the?
there's 3: Mario, Peach, and Bowser.
Well, I'm
At
trying
the
to remember which
and
ones I got. I got Mario, or I have a Mario one. I just don't remember which ones they are.
okay.
So
Um, what else? There's something else I was gonna say about the game. Shit, I don't remember now. But I'll come back. But yeah, it's growing on me. Again, it's still
yeah,
odd. I kind of hold on to that. That'll never kind of go away. It just feels a little odd to me,
it's,
but it's a good game. It's a good game.
it's
I
good.
enjoyed it a lot now. Yeah. What else? So did not really stream that much last week, unfortunately, because the holidays. Haven't played Hollow Knight. I was planning on actually playing tonight a little bit before our podcast here, Chris, but obviously stuff happened to me. Stayed at
Yeah,
work for like 12 hours pretty much. Sucks. Um, what else? I think I already mentioned I was playing It Takes Two with Mandy. Yeah, I did. That
yeah.
was yesterday. I mentioned that. There's one other thing I was playing. Oh yeah, I actually completed the campaign for Marvel's Avengers, and then I also completed the DLC campaigns, which are free. It's called Taking Aim. That's the one where they introduce Kate Bishop, and then the kind of follow up to that is like part two is Future Imperfect with Hawkeye, like Clint Barton, and that features like in the future in the wastelands where Hulk becomes Maestro. And I looked it up. Apparently, I know Hulk is your favorite Marvel guy, Chris. So this is why I'm not sure if you knew this, but the reason why Hulk goes well, part of the reason why he goes bad from good
Mm,
is because the wasteland has a lot of radiation, which made Hulk obviously who's all about gamma radiation. It made him stronger, but also made him more insane because of the type of radiation. It's like the apocalypse radiation, which is like different from like gamma radiation that just like gave birth to the Hulk. So apparently he got stronger, but he also has Banner's mind, but not in the way that it was portrayed in like the Avengers movie, or like it's like they combine into like the same person. It's just like all Hulk, but he could actually like speak full sentences and like has his intellect of Banner.
mm.
So Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and apparently he has, like, not in the game, like, in the comics, he has, like, children who are like him, like green and all that,
Yep.
and they rule, like, different like, he's like the king, essentially. It's not called king, but he's like the king, essentially, and he gives, like, parts of, like, the far kingdoms to his children to look after, kinda like his commanders in a way.
Yeah, he has
So,
weird Hulk
yeah,
spawn that rule
yeah.
other sections of the U.S.
It
and
it's pretty
possibly Canada.
interesting. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to read about, but apparently I didn't like obviously we beat Maestro. I'm like, there's no way two Hawkeyes can beat fucking Hulk, let
No,
alone Maestro.
I don't
There's
think
no fucking way.
Wolverine did. I don't think beat him.
I don't think Wolverine and Hulk would be able to kill each other. I think it'd be eternally a tie
Well,
because the Hulk would get madder and
I
madder, and
believe
Wolverine would say, "You can, I'll just regenerate. Fuck
I
you."
at the end, I believe though in that timeline at the very end there, that is the end of Logan's timeline. His regenerative powers were not working as well as they were supposed to be. I believe that finally at that point he was going to finally die. But I do
Huh.
believe he also fought the Hulk again, and I don't know. I don't think that's when he died, but yeah, he Wolverine was still alive then. that's
I know the
when you
Wolverine,
get
the
that's when you
last
get like the old man Logan with the big white beard, and
yeah, yeah.
so
Well, this version had Old Man Hawkeye,
I don't like that.
which is I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in that storyline in the comics, Old Man Hawkeye and Old Man Logan teamed up.
I
I
thought
believe. I could be
Hawkeye would
wrong.
be dead. Didn't that happen in like the year 21 something?
No, Old Man Hawkeye has been like a comic thing for
No, I mean
it's
when did Old Man Logan, the Maestro, that whole. I thought that was like the year 21 something, like 100 or so years after now.
well, no, it can't be because Hawkeye's still alive and he's just like a normal
That's why I'm
dude.
confused. Like, why is
Yeah.
Hawkeye still alive? He should be dead.
No, he's definitely still because, like, there's comics you can unlock in the game in terms of, like, they give you stats, and when I look at all the covers, and, like, there's a few 3 or 4 that says, like, "Old Man Hawkeye," and it shows, like, him, like, alive,
Unless if
and
for
he's
some reason he was either it didn't happen as far in the future as I thought, or maybe somehow Hawkeye gets sent into the future, like frozen or something. I don't know. I've never read the
anyways,
comics.
like yeah, so that was pretty interesting, and then also, I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan, but then I played the last DLC campaign, The War for Wakanda. It was really fucking good. It was actually I was amazing. I was going out with
You were
low
amazing.
expectations. Yes, I was also amazing. But yeah, War for Wakanda. I love Wakanda. I love Black Panther in this game now. He's like an awesome guy. So yeah. Again, uh, Marvel's Avengers deserves all the hate it gets for the end game and for the microtransactions and for all the lies. But I'm able in my mind, Chris, to like separate things. Like for example, I can very easily divorce the Marvel's Avengers game from like the music of the game. It's like I'm not going to fault the composer for like the decisions made by the executives, right? I can play the game and say I think this game has really good fucking music, which it does in my opinion. So I can say I really like the music in this game, and I can kind of like divorce that if I want to in my mind from like everything else in the game is like bringing down.
Mm.
But yeah, so like it has really good music. The narratives are really good. The single player stuff is really good. I've kind of almost reached the end of the multiplayer. I only have like 5 more achievements left, and one is bugged currently because they just released a new patch. I would already have that achievement; it wasn't bugged. So essentially, I'm down to 4 achievements. They're all grind achievements, so I do like 2 daily quests a day. Then I log off. So I mean, I'll get it slowly over time, not in a big rush. So I'm basically done with the game. Campaign worth the time on Game Pass. It was amazing. I liked the campaign. I liked the 3 DLC campaigns. Really good game. And that's basically what I played because remember how we talked about this on the not last, one of the previous episodes about them promising when they launched the game, we'll never sell you XP boosts. And
Mm.
then they nerfed the XP and then sell you boosts. And then they pulled back the decision 3 weeks later. So because I have Game Pass, one of the perks was like, here, take all this stuff from Marvel's Avengers. And one of them was like a 3-day perk for XP. I'm like, okay. So I used it and it just ran out on like Sunday, which is like when I was done with everything, coincidentally enough. So I picked the perfect time to use it. So yeah, it was good. The XP nerf, I can confirm, is bullshit. They shouldn't have done that because I could feel the XP was slower than it should have been originally. And then I'm like, well, this is complete horseshit because now they're just like, it's the game's designed for you to buy XP boosts, but you can't actually buy XP boosts even if you wanted to. So
Yeah,
it's kind of it's so
they
strange.
ended up
It's
taking them out, and then they didn't readjust the XP to what it was
exactly.
supposed to be originally.
Exactly. They didn't readjust it to the previous levels. Oh, we don't want our players to get confused. I played the game now. It's only you don't have to level up immediately. You can do the mission, take your time to read everything on the helicarrier, and just like not get confused. So that was a bullshit excuse, and I can that's from firsthand experience now. We knew it was a bullshit excuse, you and me, Chris, when we covered the story, but now I can say from firsthand experience, 100% bullshit. So I have
Hmm.
no respect for. As five different studios were responsible for making this game. Five, and look how much they failed. Like it's, ugh. Anyways, so played that. What else did I play? Nothing else, honestly. Uh, that's about it for me.
Yeah,
So
so I guess with that we can move on. If we wanted to talk about how Square Enix is slowly not listening to its customer base, its fan base, and
yeah,
becoming a real AAA company. As we want to jump off from them, make a very expensive video game and failing somehow and lying to their customer base constantly about it. We could go on to what is it the president, the head of Square Enix,
yeah.
has come out right at the beginning of the new year, at the end of last year, waving a banner, shouting it to the top of his lungs, "We will go full on head right in the wall with NFTs, and we don't care what you people have to say about it."
hmm
Yeah, this is.
This is a really fucking garbage
I
move by
mean,
him. Like
we knew that
I,
we're going to be doing some NFT stuff. They did say that they were looking into it, but this seems more like we need to get in, make as much money now as soon as we can, while the NFT bros are hot about it.
mhm.
That's what this sounds. That's what this more sounds like, as opposed to them doing art and things that they were doing before, like with the million Maximilian, whatever it was called series. I don't remember. They did NFTs before as a test. Sorry. Uh, we
So yeah, and keep in mind, like Final Fantasy 14 when it launched, it like failed. Like if it failed really hard, and it was gonna tank the company, like if not ruin it big time. But then Yoshida kind of took over the reins, and now he saved Square Enix from total disaster.
Yoshi P,
And
the
now it's
god.
funny, yeah. So Yoshi P is now like literally he's a game director, but more people know him than the actual president of Square Enix. And now this
Yeah.
the same president I'm not joking. This is a fact. It's not an opinion. Literally everyone knows about Yoshi P if you play FF14. No one really knows about the president. But yeah, apparently this he's like okay, so there's this article on Kotaku we're talking about. I'm going to quote it. So
Mm.
it's by Zach Zwei. I can't say his last name. Zweisen. I think it's Zweisen. So there's a paragraph I want to read here that I kind of highlighted, which kind of it's kind of hits the nail on the head. Um, where is it? So it should be noted that nowhere in this letter, which is still being mocked endlessly on social media by game devs and players, does Matsuda actually lay out any detailed plans or ideas for how Square Enix will implement blockchain technology in its game, what games NFTs could be integrated with, or even any evidence for how this controversial tech will improve its video games. Instead, the letter reads more like what it really is, a way to convince investors and stockholders that Square Enix is totally into all this NFT and metaverse stuff. I think he kind of exactly hit the
That
nail on the head.
is.
This this fucking guy reminds me of fucking Butters from South Park when they go in the future, like post COVID, the post COVID specials. He's Butters trying to convince everyone else with like buzz phrases. Like he's just like copy pasting. Oh yeah, we should do this, and like it's gonna be, you know, it's like he's not actually detailing any details. It's
No,
just
he's
like
not. He's saying
razzle frazzle.
he's saying that they'll go in and do NFT gaming and all this stuff, and I don't think he realizes exactly what it means or anything like that, or understands the technology and stuff like that. Like, this is so freaking awful. Like, if he had actual layout or plan or anything to announce alongside this, then I mean, it would still come off as fucking garbage. But still, a plan would at least tell people this is an investment fucking state letter that he sent out to people. And it's like to help calm the nerves of all the investors. Don't worry, guys, we're looking into NFTs because we know you guys
Mhm.
want that money. That's what this reads completely as. Like I don't like what he was saying in the letter when he's like, I realize some people who play to have fun in big air quotes. And it's like mocking people who just like to play video games. It's like we should start a new trend here where we have people who play to contribute to the games. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that fucking mean? Are you gonna have people? Are you gonna have your fans make assets now for your NFTs so that they could sell them and make money? Because you know an NFT will always grow in price.
You're cutting out a lot.
Oh, fuck
The
off!
last like 30 seconds.
Wow. Okay. I need to adjust my sound settings, I guess, after this. Um,
Okay, no
so
worries. Well, you can do it now if you want. That's fine. But
I'll let you go on. Let me mute myself
okay.
and deal with this.
Just so you know, it wasn't as bad until like 30 seconds ago or whenever it was.
Still,
But yeah, I it's so disappointing, because he's atop of the chain at Square Enix, obviously. So he's gonna try and push this onto everyone, just like everyone was trying to push, loot boxes or whatever fad. But like as I said in that one paragraph I read, like that's why I wanted to read that paragraph because literally everyone is mocking him, like players and game devs alike, on social media. So it's kind of like, well, maybe he should take the hint, but he's probably too stubborn to, because of his position and because of the culture in Japan. But, you know, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to throw any shade. It's just the reality of the situation. But like, yeah, like he's probably not going to change his mind despite all the feedback, despite all the ridicule. It's just, a lot of these guys just see a quick, get quick. I can't talk. Get rich quick scheme. There we go, and they just want to jump on board because they see it as free money. But I mean, maybe it is. I won't argue that. I don't know, but at what cost? It's it's so silly. It's so silly. Like I, and the thing is, he called last year one of NFTs, and this year will be year two. It's like really, that's the way you see it. Like, some people think this is going to be a long term thing, which it's not. Again, nothing to back that up, but I have a strong suspicion this is not going to last. How's it looking, Chris? Okay, so he needs a second still. All right. Well, uh, yeah, I think unless if Chris has anything to say, I think that's really all I had to say.
I
It's sad that hello.
hello. Yes, I don't think I could change settings at the moment. I think it's a Discord issue, and I'm not going to go into my settings because it may fuck up video.
Sure.
So I will deal with that
Okay.
later, unfortunately. So just tell me if I cut out again. But yeah, I
I
don't
will.
have much to say. Like this does feel like that. Like he kept bringing up the metaverse, and like last year was known as the meta year. Like no, I don't think anyone ever called it that. Facebook called it that because they're changing the name to fucking Meta. Stupid.
Wait,
Fucking
they're changing their name to Meta?
Meta is something,
Facebook is?
I believe.
Oh wow.
That's where the
That's news to
metaverse
me.
thing came out because he's trying to
Huh.
Android. Is it Android Wilson? Is trying to push that whole meta like what do you call it, virtual reality 3D avatar garbage, with the Oculus, and saying this is the future. Like it might be for some people to use, but right now it's not.
Hmm.
Like anyway, that's part of it, and then the whole NFT blockchain stuff, and but yeah, I don't think people can ever refer to it as that. And them like basically lambasting 99% of the player population by making fun of them by saying people who play to have fun are not, are concerned here in a way. We want people who pay to contribute, and uh, it just came off as really garbage. Like this, depending on what they do in the future, like this letter alone makes me not want to support Square Enix again.
You cut out again. All I heard was this letter alone. Square
This
Enix again.
this letter alone almost makes me want to boycott Square Enix. If this is where they're going with the company, I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want to give them money.
And I can't blame you for saying that, honestly.
Like
I
again, I'll wait and see what they do with their future games, but they start putting out lots of fucking NFT games and stuff like that. I may just boycott them, and they make like my favorite RPG series of all time and my second favorite RPG series. That's Dragon Quest followed by Final Fantasy.
hmm
And it sucks, but I may have to do that, and that sucks for all the other companies that work with them. Like I would love to play Triangle Strategy and all the new games made by that studio, but I guess we'll wait and see because I don't want to support a company that dives into this stuff when there are other alternatives. If all you want to do was sell people digital assets and digital art, you don't have to go down this route. There are way better, environmentally friendly, and other accepted forms that you could do this through. You don't have to do it through goddamn NFTs. I'm done.
yeah, I think I think we've seen even in cyberpunk, as you mentioned earlier. I think we've seen that a lot of companies are just willing to throw out their all their accumulated good faith and goodwill just for the sake of more money, more quick. Like
More,
you're gonna
yeah,
make money if you just keep doing what you're doing and not piss anyone off and not have any controversial stuff. But you need the money now.
but
You
money
need more
now,
money now.
now, like Veruca Salts.
I'm not actually sure what that is, but it's
The
okay.
the rich
You
girl
can tell me later.
in it's the rich girl from what was it called? Willy Wonka. But Daddy, I want it
Oh,
now.
is that where it comes from?
Yeah,
Okay. I've never seen the original Willy Wonka. I just know the meme, which is was it? You lose.
good.
Good day, sir. I know I missed some stuff, but I
Yeah,
can't remember the rest.
but yeah, that is from that movie. Uh, well, what now could we talk about? We done Square.
I think honestly, it's a slow news week again, Chris, as you know, but I think that was like the biggest news story we had this week. So it's kind of slim pickings going forward now. Um, oh, here's something I would like to talk about.
Hmm.
So I'm on Reddit and I do a lot of reading on Reddit pretty much every day. I am on the Twitch subreddit, and about a month ago, a lot of people are like saying, someone's contacting me about like they want to gift me like a bunch of bits when I'm streaming, and then I had to like refund like 80% of it, and I can keep the rest.
What?
And people are like saying, "Don't fucking do it. It's a fucking money laundering not stream scheme. Don't do it. Don't accept. Don't refund." And now, the story that was posted today, Chris, that you found 40 people arrested for alleged Twitch money laundering scheme because they said all these guys were from the same company. Yeah, Turkish people. So there's 40 people total who are trying to like do the scheme and for almost $10 million, 9.8 million to be exact. So basically, you know, in Americans' money or American monies, I meant to say, like 1,000 bits is $10. So like $1 is 100 bits, right? So like essentially a
Hmm.
bit is a penny. So they would like have you like they would donate like 1,000 bits to you, then you'd have to like refund them like $7 or $8. So you keep $2 total. It's free money. But that's money laundering. That's exactly what money laundering is, right?
Hmm.
You because if you refund most of it and you keep the excess, you're keeping essentially the dirty money, and you're refunding from your own bank account, and that's like the clean money. So they're basically trading spots with you. So yeah, it's bad news bears. I'm glad they got caught because it was total bullshit, you know. And I'm surprised that Twitch even allowed them to get this far. Like, granted, it's not like the most common thing to happen, and this is probably like the first major occurrence of like such a large scale operation of this kind on Twitch in terms of like trying to money launder. But you know, 40 people for 10 million bucks. That's
Yeah,
crazy. What do you
this
think?
is insane. Like they were using stolen credit cards and whatever other means they could to just go in, buy a bunch of bits, and then spread them out to a bunch of people, saying you got to pay us back, however much it. And were able to do this for, you said, for how long? They were doing this
About a
for
month,
a
maybe
month
two, but
or two
about a
that
month. Yeah,
you've
about a month.
been hearing about, and I guess they caught them quick enough, but still, like, there were big streamers that were talking about this a while ago. Like, yeah, October, there was a Turkish, uh, what do you call it? A Turkish streamer, like a famous one, and he was talking about this, and things still weren't getting done about it, or whatever. Like, people would report it, and it seemed like there was nothing being done. It seems like someone finally did something. The police.
Yeah,
But yeah,
finally.
I don't know if Twitch had anything to do with that, but someone must have been listening at least to get the word out there, whether it's police, someone who's associated with the police contacted them, or maybe it was Twitch themselves. But I can't believe that they got away, not got away, but basically did this for almost 10 million before finally getting stopped.
hmm
I
Yeah,
didn't,
I mean, just goes to show you that like, well, I'm not saying they were being smart about it, but like at the same time they were really spreading themselves thin. So I guess it took them a while to make, if that makes sense, to like kind of pinpoint exactly.
yeah,
Because like, if you're going to someone's channel only doing like, let's say like what, like 10,000 bits, which is like $100 US, that's really nothing. Like $100 is nothing. You do that like 1,000 times a day. Okay, well now it's something, right? But that's spread across how many channels then?
yeah.
If you're only
I
doing,
think it's weird because
so.
you're still gonna have this paper trail leading to you because all these payments that you're putting out through the bits or whatever,
hmm
all this money's gonna be coming back to you. But what is the reason why they are giving you this money? Like, you
Yeah,
know, like it
yeah,
eventually it's gonna show. Like when someone's donating to you through whatever, through, we'll say Twitch, like someone drops you like $10, through your PayPal. It's, you can easily point to, I streamed here, here's evidence, but through here I don't know what evidence they have. How many different accounts do they have to try and move this money through that they
oh,
try that,
probably
that they claimed
hundreds.
wouldn't have been through this? Like, the paper trail, or their way to try to hide this paper trail, mustn't have been a very good one if they were already caught. I'm just saying.
hmm
But yeah, I'm glad these guys get stopped. I think this news came up like today or yesterday that this finally got stopped. But yeah, I'm glad they were stopped because I never got any of these messages, but it's already annoying when I'm getting the still constantly today. Like the
you
go
you
buy,
cut out.
no,
You
it,
said
it
it's annoying, and
it's
then you cut out.
annoying. Like even for me, like I'm not a big streamer, like I never get these, but
Oh,
it's
you
annoying.
cut out again. It's annoying for you, and you cut out.
Fuck off. I don't know if this is going to be appearing on the
You cut out again.
podcast itself.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, I think we get the gist of what you're saying, though.
Yeah, it's just fucking awful. I think that news story is pretty much done. I'm glad
Yeah.
they were stopped.
So yeah, we don't have that many news stories left, so I guess we can just push through, Chris, so then we can just, you know let's go from there. Like, one, I don't think our viewers are gonna care, if you like drop out for your audio for like a second, like every like few, it's all right. We can
It's
just work
annoying.
through
I'll
it.
have to figure out what the issue is later.
Mhm.
Um,
So, did you want to bring one up?
Roblox. Wow, this is yeah, it's nice hearing about, how billion-dollar companies, like I believe it is a billion dollar company now, how it manages to be able to, you know, try to skirt the line and dodge taxes as often as they can. But, I have to pay all mine. It's reminds me of fucking Ubisoft and how they don't pay taxes because they
Yeah,
technically are in a basement in Holland.
that's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny
it
just
is
like
fucking.
how often this occurs and how
It is.
widespread it is
This
throughout.
is different, but it is tax evasion. It's,
Yes.
as they say, a completely legal way of tax evading. But the Roblox creators have been dodging taxes. Basically, from what I understand, is they qualified for small business stock exemption. So if their company is valued, I think under 50 million, which was set in place actually um to stop Disney when they open up the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, to stop them from applying for the small business exemption because they're a fucking NFL team or NHL team, and they would obviously would then they valued the team at 50 million. So this tax exemption is at that line and below, so they couldn't apply for it. But anyway, Roblox, when it started up, it applied for this, met the requirements, makes sense for a startup company. And as it started to get close to that number, they started to, or when they got close to that number or above it, basically what they started to do was hand out shares to family members and friends of family members so that money could get spread around, I believe, to more people, basically through stocks and holding of stocks. And this is basically how they were able to just keep it going and not pay any taxes. Because effectively, if you share or give away stocks, it's seen as what do you call it? Not investment, a gift, and you can't be taxed on gifts or of some sort. I don't know the exacts of that. I don't have stock, so I don't know a lot of this. Well, I'm kind of stupid when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, just gifting through stocks was able to then go, oh no, no, we didn't make a lot of that money. This was a gift. This was a um what do you call it when you give money to a charity? Oh, no, it was a charitable
Donation?
donation, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that's what this was all seen as. Like the mother or whatever of one of the people that was doing this too. She had so much stock. She was like, "Oh well, I'll just start giving stock to my friends and other family members, extended family members." And yeah, it's
Oh wow, there's like three spots where you just like cut out. So
oh,
I think what Chris is trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong because I didn't hear you,
mm,
was the mother giving out stocks to friends and family, and
mm,
then and then you just cut out again. So I had no
that
idea what you said
sucks.
after that.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like stocks of friends, family, family of friends, yada yada, and it just kept spiraling from there. And this is a completely legal thing that all big companies do to
Yep.
try and to not pay taxes that they're supposed to be paying on.
Yeah. Yep. And apparently the article here had the one of the lawyers for the people who was doing this to make sure everything was above the belt, saying, "Oh, you know what? You should have more children, so you can save more taxes." It's like,
Well, that's what a
really?
lot of lawyers that are
That's
telling companies to do this to say. It's like just have more children and make sure your children have more children, so you can just keep gifting this stuff to them. It's like, wow, okay, yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's a really that's a really bad attitude to have towards the whole thing.
yeah, but yeah, there's nothing can be done about it because this is completely legal. This is
Yeah. And I do believe Roblox, in terms of not money, but in terms of like people working in the company, is actually a really small company in terms of like number of employees. There's like not very many people at Roblox. I think number of people, they're still a very small company, but they make a fuck ton of money. So
yeah, I
kind
do
of
not
strange how that works
know.
out.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had a small-ish company working or smallish number of employees in general, but they're a huge company. Like they make a lot of money off of this game for children.
Yep. 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 I've actually played the game for achievements. I got them all. And a lot of them was like play a game of Roblox for like 2 days in a row, 5 days in a row, 10 days in a row. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I'm like, you know what? I said, you know what? Let's actually give it a try. And it's kind of like how would I'm not sure if you played the game. I know you probably haven't, Chris, but Roblox is basically like, how do I even describe this? Think Minecraft. Like it's not a Minecraft type game, but think if instead of Minecraft, it's like okay, no, I take that
It's
back. I have a better
Minecraft
example.
in the creativity thing because a lot of users
I
make
was
user generated content.
Yes, it's like RPG Maker, except take out the RPG. It's just
That's a
like Game
better
Maker.
way to put it. Yeah.
You can basically make your own sub games within like it's kind of like Roblox itself is the meta game. It's like the hub, and then you download like other people's creations, much like Minecraft
Mm,
maps, and you play completely different games. It could be a first person shooter. It could be like a hide and go seek mini game. It can be like a game where like everyone jumps off the roof and see like who got the most like speed before you hit the ground. It's it can be
mm.
anything.
And did you
And like,
know if you make your own games in Roblox, you can make money off them?
yes, I'm imagining I'm
And do
not
you
sure. I know
know
I
how much obscene amounts of money you have to get before you get any kind of payout? And how much
no idea.
Roblox takes from you? Well, it's definitely not in your favor. Of course it
Uh
isn't.
80 20, and you have to make $1,000. That's just a guess. I have no idea.
It's probably that or worse. But yeah, it's
Huh.
I didn't. The story may have come up before we started doing the podcast, but whatever. But I heard about it. It's like this is really awful. If you guys want to know, you should look up like the creative, their new what do you call it, monetization, and how they're trying to get children into making video games, which I guess is a good idea. Make video games. You might be able to earn some money, but it's definitely not in favor of well, I mean, it shouldn't be in favor of the people making the content, but you should definitely get a better deal than what they're offering because that it's it's not good. It's worse than the video game buyback system or the trading system when you go into like EB Games. We trade in a 60 to an $80 game and you get $5. Actually, no, it's pretty much on par with that.
You cut it about 6 or 7 times since I last spoke. So I think we caught
I
most of what
was
you're
I
saying.
was
I
comparing
think we
it
caught
to
most of
the
it.
EB Games uh the EB Games, what do you call it? Video game trading system
Trade in? Yeah,
where you
yeah.
trade it in an $80 game, get $10. And but if you kept it in EB Games bucks, you get like 30. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. But yeah, yep, it's time for news story, I think.
Okay.
Unless if you have more to say about.
No, no, that's there's just tax evading and they're doing it legally. So not
Yeah,
really much
and
to
it's dumb. I wish
say.
I could do stuff like that.
I think yeah, legally get more money essentially.
Yeah, legally not have to pay the money you owe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could pretend I lived in a basement in Holland and not have to pay taxes here, just like Ubisoft.
So yeah. So we only have a few news stories left.
Mm,
Let's talk about this one. This seems like a really quick one. So apparently, there's like there's more content creators that are out there, and like not just like people like me or Chris who like just stream on Twitch, but like content creators like tied or kind of married to one game or one company. So like you have like people who are just like make Pokemon videos on YouTube. What is his name? Oh, I know we've talked about him once or twice. I forget. Anyways, there's people who only play fighting games, like Maximilian. Well, okay, that's not true. He doesn't only play fighting games, but like
he
you know what I'm
he's
trying to say.
known for
Like
fighting games. He's the fighting game
he's
man.
he's he's a fighting game aficionado essentially. He's not limited to that, but
Mm,
that's what most people know him for. And then you have people who just like Capcom games. And that's what Capcom did. So Capcom made a new program called Capcom Creators, and basically it just aims to kind of help support their ideas and their livelihoods. And yeah, it looks like an all around great idea. I don't really see a downside to this, Chris. So basically, they put out a newsletter for them and they help them get set up, and they have discords where they can like talk to each other as well as actual Capcom employees, ask them questions, get some content, make some chatter. It just seems like a all around good idea, and they get care packages too, so that's
This
it seems like it's almost the opposite of what Nintendo was trying to do with the
I was gonna
whole
bring that up.
YouTube partnership program, where you have to give them all their revenue, and if you're lucky, you get to keep some of your revenue after they give it back. After they're like, oh, it's kind of like they're the alpha wolf, and then you get like the scraps after the alpha's done eating. It's like, oh, here, I don't want this anymore. You can have a little bit of what I was eating.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up the Nintendo thing. It doesn't seem like it's the same thing as that. As long as they don't lock you in and try and say that you can't, like this seems like a community thing. It's not like an MCN. I think is what they were called on YouTube. As long as it's not
Sorry, you
something.
said community thing, and then you cut out.
Mm.
I know. I'm sorry.
I need to get this shit. I changed something and it's breaking my audio. Um, I don't think that this is like an MCN where they're gonna lock you in and say, well, you can't go to any other company, you can't to work with any other creators, yada yada, right? This just seems like a community thing that Capcom's trying to start up, hopefully, to help bring more community members in and help spread and grow the Capcom community, and that
Hmm.
better be what it stays as. You might get discovered on there. You might be able to get hooked up. Get some free games for your content, or not free. What do you call it? Yeah, I guess free games or free merch to help promote Capcom stuff, and they'll help promote you, stuff like that, right? So as long as it sees as that, like as a community kind of a spotlight system, I think it would be a nice thing. As long as they don't start gating people off and saying, well, now that
Hmm.
you're part of this community, you can't work with this community. As long as it doesn't turn into that kind of gatekeepery bullshit that some MCNs and that we're known for on YouTube. It'll be
Yeah,
it,
I
it
mean,
looks like it could be good. I wonder who will jump on board with this. Will Max jump on board?
I doubt it
I doubt it.
because
He's already big enough, but
yeah, he doesn't need the money. First of all, second of all, he'd probably lose money by doing this. And then third of all, he's not just a Capcom guy,
No,
right?
he's
He
not.
doesn't.
But he
He
doesn't.
actually surprised. He
Go
plays
on.
a surprisingly small amount of Street Fighter. He's more into Marvel, if
He,
anything. He doesn't even play Marvel
he's
much
more
anymore. It's
into KI.
well, yeah, but now basically Max plays a lot of the newer fighting games. So
he's
like if something's new, he's generally playing that.
he's in the yeah he's into the fighting games. Like he'll play other games here and there, but when a new fighting game drops or new characters or whatever or new updates, he'll be into that game for a while. Like recently he's been playing bloody roar. He's been
Oh,
getting into
really? That's
that.
huh.
The last few
I remember
nights I've
playing
been
that on my
watching him.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, he's playing Bloody Roar 3. I think he's trying to get a Bloody Roar revival out there. Bring back
Huh.
Bloody Roar.
That's funny.
But yeah, this could be a good thing for creators. I mean,
I think so.
yeah, I think it could be.
I know Square Enix is something similar for Final Fantasy 14. There's a lot of content creators I watch and know that yeah, they get like care packages and they get like exclusive information. Like when Endwalkers, before it launched, there was like an Endwalkers tour, but it was like very private. Only certain people, like content creators, were allowed to like have the insider knowledge, and they gave them like 2 or 3 weeks to like make their videos. And then on the embargo day, they were allowed to like release their videos to the public and kind of like,
mm,
here's what you can expect from this class in Endwalker. It's like here's the new abilities. Here's and like be able to like actually show you, not just talk about, like show you how, like
yeah,
exactly what you're in for. So I think that was pretty cool. And it seems like something similar almost, except in a different way. Instead of like, here's the info, so you can kind of like number one advertise for us, but number two, you get all the views
yeah,
and you get money off of it.
and seems like it may not be as inclusive as the specifically the one that you talked about, the Final Fantasy one.
Hmm.
So this one might actually be a little bit more broad ranging.
Yeah,
If, if
yeah,
that's a good way to put it, as I lift my eyebrow up
I think
questioningly.
so.
But yeah, looks like it's good. Uh, we talk about Call of Duty.
Oh
More
God,
Activision
do we
Blizzard
have to?
news. We
Do
do,
we have
but
to?
this may not actually be bad news. It may
Okay.
actually be more, but slightly better news. Activision uh, sues a Call of Duty Warzone cheat maker company for selling like tens of thousands of cheats to players for Warzone. Wow, is this the first news? Yeah, this is the first news of the year for Activision Blizzard. It's not about them being pieces of shit.
All right. Well, they're still big pieces of shit. Let's be
They
clear
are.
about
It
that.
still hasn't ended. I think this is what week 3 of the walkout and solidarity for the people being for the people down at I guess Warzone creators, if I can, uh, for them and as a dangle at hoping to not lose their jobs and hopefully they will get their shit together and unionize. Sorry, my thoughts are freezing up here, along with my audio, apparently, today. But yeah, Activision Blizzard is going after a Warzone cheat maker called Engine Owning, and they've started up a legal front with whom was it? The Central District Court of California. It alleges that engine owning is infringing on Activision's copyright and violating its terms of service and hurting sales through distribution of aimbots, triggerbots, and other cheats. Which, yes, because that kind of stuff does stop people from wanting to play your game. And if Activision doesn't have good cheat detection, or if these cheats are beyond their realm to be able to stop, it will stop people from buying their games. I'm pretty sure that isn't the only reason why people are not playing their games. But,
You cut out. You're pretty sure this isn't.
the only reason why people aren't playing Activision Blizzard's games. But, that's here
Mhm.
and there. The cheats in multiplayer games do stop people from playing games and stop people from buying games. So
This is true.
that is true, no matter what other news can and cannot say. So they are
Yeah. Honestly, when I think of Call of Duty, like any Call of Duty, like there's always been cheating, like every game
360
pretty
no
much.
scope.
So,
Wasn't using an aimbot, I swear.
oh baby, a triple. That's where that comes from. Actually,
Oh,
I love that.
baby, a triple. Yeah.
I have that on my channel as a noise thing, but yeah. Anyways, it's kind of like yes, that's a good thing that they're banning these people, or not. Sorry, not banning. They're going after these people like legally, but like it's so disingenuous. Like they're only doing it because it's costing them money. Like they're not doing it because it's the right thing, right? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if they went after other ones in the other games or if it's specifically this one now. Right?
I don't know. That's a good. I was thinking the same thing actually,
But yeah, we never
but
know. Obviously, the companies do try and stop these people when they can because it does hurt sales. But I just wonder legally, have they ever gone after anyone? It'd be a good thing to look into, which I probably will forget about once we're done the podcast.
yeah,
Sorry. But yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I mean, people they ban like Call of Duty players like every so often, like every like month or two. There's like another ban wave, like in every Call of Duty game. So I don't know. It seems like it's never gonna go away. Like this definitely helps. It puts out a strong message, but like people are gonna cheat regardless. That's just the nature of the beast. And I don't know. I think the damage is already done. Like yeah, it stops the bleeding, but like I don't know. It feels like when you think of Call of Duty, you think of cheating for the most part, like in every game, as I keep saying. But I don't know. I'm not a Call of Duty player. I never will be, so I can't really talk about firsthand experience. But I don't know. Like
I
it's
swear
it's
when I was on console that there was people cheating, but I'm just bad at
yes.
FPSs, really.
No, there is people on console also cheating. That's the thing. You're absolutely correct in that. But I don't know. It just seems like Activision Blizzard and all these games that they're making could be doing a better job. Because if it keeps happening,
Yeah,
like if
like
I steal from you 10 times, are you going to blame me, or at what point do we blame the person for not upgrading their security?
Yeah,
Right? It's kind of like, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
It depends on how they code their games or what their anti-cheat is. Like, if they put in, we'll just say if they start putting in de novo anti-cheat into their games, people have already cracked that shit wide open. As soon as the game launches, there'll be cheats out for it.
Yeah,
If they're using like we'll say the same anti-cheat as a previous game, people already know how to
whoa,
hack that shit. You know what I mean?
you're you cut out, so I don't know what you mean. That's why I said, well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought you're done talking. That's why
Like,
I was talking,
yeah,
but
sorry.
you cutting cut out. So
If they're
go ahead.
using, did I say de novo?
Yes,
Okay,
you
yeah.
did.
So the other one I was saying, if they're using again like the same anti-cheat as the last game, that shit's been cracked wide open. So
Mhm.
people would already know how to put these cheats in. So you guys have to come up with something better, something that isn't going to get leaked by someone at your company, so the cheaters will get in. Because these guys are looking at people in the company saying, if you tell me about this stuff, I get you money. Like that's how some of this stuff goes out. And these cheaters, as soon as the game drops, let's say if no news of what they're using is leaked, as soon as it drops, they'll know what you're using, and we'll have a hack. We'll have it probably hacked within the first couple of weeks or month, with some kind of base level hack or cheater or kind of aimbot system. So it the it's a fight that they're constantly having to go through, but it seems like at some point they just give up and not want to update, or they'll only update it, every 3 or 4 games or something like that, right?
Mhm.
So, which I guess makes sense, but it's not good for the games. The games still rack in tons of people, and I do believe consoles are safer when it comes to cheaters as opposed to PC,
Just
but
not immune.
it's not immune to it. No, of course not. I mean, I played Call of Duties on like the 360 and stuff like that. I don't think there was people cheating on any of the games I played. I'm just really bad at it, so it feels like someone's cheating. Like when I spawn in and I'm watching the kill feed from the guy, and he's just running laps around killing people, and I spawned in right in front of him. There's nothing I can do about that. It's the game's. Whoop, sorry, I hit my keyboard. I'm getting that upset. It's just the game's bad AI for spawning me right in front of someone who's doing laps, and they're doing laps knowing that they can manipulate this AI spawning. you know.
Mhm. That's just like hardcore knowledge of the game at
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
it
Like,
is. Like once you know, like spawn points are like here, 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 or in these areas. If I just keep running laps, someone's eventually gonna have to spawn in front of me. Yeah.
I we didn't catch that. You
Oh,
said spawn points are here, 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 and then
and then I said, they're here, here, and here, and eventually someone will have to spawn in front or near me, right? It's gonna have to
mhm.
happen eventually. Anyway,
So yeah, Call of Duty is getting hacked, and they're going after the hackers
yeah,
because not that they care about the players, they just want more money.
that's
So
pretty much it. I mean, one will ju- wo- one leads into the other, of course. Less hackers means more
mhm,
money because the game will sell better. But if we go after the hackers, we could get some of that money back
exactly.
that we can't prove 100% we lost because of them.
You don't want to say it's free money, but it's essentially free money. You just have to put a little work in. That's why it's not free. You
Yeah,
have to
it's
put
not
some
free.
work in
They
to get
still
it.
do
So
have to put in lots of work and pay lawyers, but still,
yeah.
these hackers should not be getting this money. It should be staying
Well,
in the pockets of the people who are actually playing until Call of Duty starts
exactly.
selling their own cheats. Wow, wouldn't that be a thing? Anyway, if we want to get into our last news story, um, you
Yeah,
don't play
this
Dead
is
by
a
Daylight, but this is a
I
weird one, and it
don't.
makes sense. I never
So,
actually
but
heard of this.
before we get into it, I read this article. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, Dead,
Yeah.
like from what I read, Dead like Daylight sounds almost like that one Friday the 13th game where like one player is Jason and the rest are like the campers or the
Yes.
counselors. It seems like there's like one major bad guy that a player plays as, and the rest are like survivors.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
1-4 survival murder your friend simulator where For the four survivors have to like work on gens, and then there's other objectives they could do, like try not to get caught by the killer, obviously, or save survivors off hooks when they're caught, or find items within chests. But your main goal is to work on gens, and then when the gens are all powered up, you can then open up a door and escape. You just try and get
Okay.
the F out, right? But obviously, the killers are a little bit more overpowered. There's only one of them, so they're a tad bit faster than survivors, so they can catch them eventually. They've got lots of perks that help them.
You're cutting
In
out really bad. Like most of what you said was lost. Yeah, like you may as well start again.
fuck sakes. So
I
anyway,
think I think it might be triggered by volume. So I don't know. I would suggest as an experiment try to keep the volume low, your voice, and see if that fixes
I'll
it.
try. So where did I cut out?
Something about you have to save your guy for your friends from meat
Okay,
hooks,
okay,
and
I got you.
that was
So
yeah.
the survivors have a bunch of things they need to do, but the objective is to power up the gates and then work on gens, power up the escape gates, open them, and get out, right? As best as you can.
Mhm.
But there are, and the killer has lots of abilities, like he's slightly faster than you, so that he can eventually catch the survivors. He has lots of perks and abilities, just like the survivors have perks and abilities. So it's kind of like a back and forth. Um, there is like licensed villains, like killers as well, and survivors,
I've seen them. Yeah.
like Freddy Krueger and Leatherface. So Leatherface for the uh, for the original survivors, if he hooked, I think it was an achievement to get. I think it's if he hooks 50 or 25 of one of the original survivors, he will get a face mask, like a cosmetic face mask that looks like them. Because Leatherface in the movies, he cuts off people's faces and wears them.
Hmm.
Um,
That's kind of
but
his character.
yeah, but one of the original survivors was a black female called Claudette, and when you killed enough of her, you got her face to wear, which people would refer to as blackface because he's wearing a
Yeah.
black person's face.
And we'll get to that in just a second. I just want to interrupt for a second,
Mm,
Chris. Sorry, but like I want to point out the fact that that whole thing you said you can cut out a single time. So here's my theory for your mic. I think it might have like if your volume's above a certain threshold, it'll mute you
I
automatically. That's
think
what I'm thinking is going on.
I think
Because you,
what is going on really is that when I changed my settings on Discord, it didn't turn on. It didn't change my volume settings or turn back on the settings they're supposed to be on. So
mhm,
that's what's cutting out a lot. But we will figure that out later because I'm going to change those when we're done
yeah,
this.
you haven't cut out a single time since you started
Yeah,
doing
so
this.
I'm going to
Just
do
so you
my
know.
best to
Yeah.
keep my volume leveled. But yeah,
So yeah, as Chris said, this is. Oh, sorry, I'll let you continue. So you said
no, you could
blackface
go on.
for killing. So yeah, there's and now even though this has been a thing for a while, now people are like using it to like troll other people, like being racist. Apparently, that's what the
Uh,
story is saying. And like I'm thinking here, like how is wearing a cosmetic mask of any person of color a racist thing just from that, right?
hmm,
That's like let's say all the survivors are white. Would that not be also be racist because you're not demonstrating the different varieties of people, like you're only sticking to like white people, for example? It's kind of like they're taking this the ability for him to wear Loretta's, sorry, is her name Lorette or Lorette's,
Claudette.
Claudette, sorry, they're taking away the ability to wear her face as a cosmetic only because certain players are being bad apples about it.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense to me because it inherently isn't a bad thing at all. If there's like four different survivors and one of them is black and you can wear any one of their four faces, assuming you kill enough of them,
Hmm.
like where is the racism? There's
I
none. I
so
realize people are. Go ahead.
so there are some killers that when they're playing the game that they will exclusively not kill specific survivors. Like I've had someone let me live. Like he picked on me the entire round, but killed everyone else and let me go. And he's like, "I'll let you live, Bill, because I like you a lot." I'm like, "Oh, you just like Bill, so you let me live." Fair enough, fine. And stuff like that happens all the time. But I think in this that some people are using the blackface leatherface and only targeting the black characters in the game and letting everyone else live. And exclusively, like very seriously, just doing that and then just standing still after the match, after he's killed the one or two black characters that might be in the game, and just going, "Yep, my job's done," and that's it. I think that's what's happening. This has been, I didn't know this was a thing going on, and apparently this has been going on for a few years now, and people have been talking about it. So
I uh
it seems
I
weird that they are removing it, yada yada. I mean, I guess I understand to try and stop this from happening, but oh, my camera glitched out. That's weird.
yeah, I did. You had a little glitch there.
That's weird. But yeah,
The
it's
Matrix Reloaded.
uh, I didn't know that this was a thing, and they're going to be removing this specific mask from the game from now on. I believe in the PTB, the player test build that's coming up, where
Hmm.
people can try out all the new features and that in the game. It is supposed to be removed in that, so we'll see.
I I get the fact that they're trying to cut the tide for preventing the racism. I understand that, but I still think taking out that one ability to wear her face isn't going to accomplish that at all. I think it it puts inherently less characters in the game as people you can wear masks for, and like you're taking away like what happens if people like legit like playing as Claudette and oh, I'm playing as a villain. I want to wear her face now. It's like it goes both ways. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Yeah,
know
you're
what you
stopping
mean.
the people from being racist, the bad apples, but you're also stopping the good people who like playing the
Yeah,
black
the
characters who
other,
legit
yeah,
like. If you're black and you like playing black characters, that's I know it's a cosmetic face on the killer. I know that, but technically it's less choice now. You don't have that option anymore.
it is this it, and it uh branching off from that specific idea. The game does have lots of cosmetics. Leatherface, I believe, does not. So they're taking away one of his cosmetics, and I don't know if it's being replaced. I understand them trying to remove it because I was trying to think of what other outfits Leatherface has. I'm like, he doesn't have that many outfits in general because a lot of that is licensed stuff. So he, in Leatherface, what would you say he wears? Other people's faces.
Exactly.
That's the only thing he's known for, in terms of his looks. So I don't know if they're gonna replace the face or not or what, but if this helps to cut down on it, but on the racism or apparent racism in the game, that'd be nice. But I think the game has other issues when it comes to, the
Yeah,
game, like
it's
balance
like
issues. Like they've really fucked up, I think, in the game with the whole hatch system. Because there was another
oh
alternative way that people could escape the game. It was through the hatch. If you powered up so many generators, there's a chance for a hatch to spawn, depending on how many people were left alive and gens were done, which would mean that you could possibly escape early or escape differently without having to work on the gens. And they removed it now so that it will only spawn when there's one person alive.
hmm, interesting.
Yeah, it's
I
it's really
I don't
dumb
know.
because it used to be that some people could try and look for the hatch or try to escape through the hatch, and now it just won't spawn. Like it took me and my buddy like a good 2 weeks to realize they removed, basically almost removed the hatch from the game because of that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I still
Anyway,
I still think again, I think that the intention is pure and trying to kind of take the tools away from the bad apple players, but
you don't think it's gonna stop
you're
anything?
that comes at the cost. I don't think it's going to stop anything, but that's not even the point I'm trying to make. I think it comes at the cost of you're taking away you're making the game less diversive technically
I
by doing this.
I guess in a way I see both sides
In a
as you do.
way, I would not. I would personally not make this point, but the point could be made that technically taking away a person of color's option is well, not more, but it's also racist because you're making it more only white characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean.
I know
I
what you
would not
mean.
make that point personally, but you have to look at both sides of the coin and try to like that's why I don't like it, because I think they're trying to solve the problem, but they're not actually gonna. They're creating a new problem. They're getting rid of one. Let's say, assuming it gets rid of, and they're putting a new problem in that's not related. It's just like different. It's so I don't disagree, or I don't agree with their decision, but I don't play the game, so I can't really. I don't have any insider knowledge about
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I never really look at personally. I don't look at his face when he's chasing me around. I'm too busy trying to not get hit by his chainsaw.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Well, apparently some people are, because apparently the whole blackface thing we're talking about here is bothering enough people that they had to make this change. So kind of
yeah.
weird.
I mean, I understand if you're trying to get the cosmetic faces for him, you're going to target Claudette so you could try and get it, right? Or target the original characters. That can't be
Hmm.
helped, but, uh, you know, I wonder what's going to happen because there's lots of people arguing for and against this on like the subreddits and stuff like that. So, but it's going to be getting removed. I wonder if it's getting replaced with a different mask. It'd be
So
weird.
I don't think it is, only because the article mentions that the players who had already unlocked the mask, they're not getting anything in its place. So
Okay.
they're getting 6,000 iridescent shards for compensation for the removal. So because they're getting the shards, I'm assuming, at least right now, there's no option to replace it. It's just
I
like they're just straight up removing the cosmetic and saying, okay, you had it, here you go, we're sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, those shards can be used to like unlock characters and killers that are not licensed. You can also use them when you have enough to get some cosmetic items in the store as well.
Okay,
It's like the free currency you get through level
right.
ups and other
Like the
events.
fake money.
Yeah,
to
basically.
to add a layer of a complexity to kind of disassociate your mind from, I'm spending money on cosmetics. No, I'm spending money on
Oh
gems.
no, no,
The
this
gems are what buys the cosmetics,
the
right? No?
those are iridescent shard. Or those are that's a different currency, the fake money.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's
This
different
is
currency.
this is the in-game stuff you earn for free, and then there's another Oryx cells, I think it's called. That is the fake money for buying your
Yeah.
skins. I don't know, like that they do that. It should just be fucking spend $5 and get this, you know,
Hmm.
instead of
I agree.
instead of obscuring it. It's like the Xbox. When Xbox didn't have
Microsoft
much,
points?
yeah, when Microsoft they had their Microsoft
Yeah.
points system, and it was like it costs 800 points to get this. You mean it costs $1? Just tell me it costs a fucking dollar, Microsoft. I'm glad they got rid of that. Fucking
Didn't PSN have the same thing? Or maybe not?
um,
I thought they did, but
I
I could be
want to
wrong.
say they did, but also I don't think they didn't. Never. I don't really buy it on the 360 and on the would that be PS3?
PS3?
Yeah, I never had a PS3 until like late in the game, so I don't know. I
Okay.
honestly can't remember. But I think for as far as I've been using it, it's always had money associated. So if they
Yeah.
did, it wasn't long lasting on the PS3.
Oh, you cut out for the first time.
That's whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, I think anything that's not free to play right now, like Xbox or Nintendo or PlayStation, or like any not free to play game, I think they do charge you only money now, which is a good change. I like to see that.
It's
So
better to have your money value there so people know how much they are spending. That was
yeah,
a thing people were shouting about on the 360, and they just wouldn't change their system, even though it's
no,
a pretty sure a system they could just change easily. Eh,
hmm
well, not easily, but it wouldn't be hard to do. Anyway, I'm glad they're not doing that anymore.
anyways,
This is weird.
another.
I wonder if they will eventually change it or put in other cosmetics. I doubt it because it's a licensed character, and they would
Oh,
have
you
to
cut out. You said you wonder if they'll.
if they're ever going to put in another cosmetic for them, because them giving
Oh, you
you
cut out
those.
again. Sorry, Chris. You cut out again.
I wonder if they're going to put in another kind of cosmetic for him or whatnot to replace it, because of them giving you those shards. They're then giving you it saying go buy something for another character. Although I believe a lot of cosmetics don't cost that.
Okay. Wow, that was like the longest streak. Not hearing you. Okay, so you wonder if they'll replace it with
Another item in the
okay,
shop because
right.
them giving you the shards is basically saying go buy another cosmetic item. But if he
Okay,
doesn't have any and people main that character, they're now down a skin.
right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So,
That
but
that sucks. Yeah.
I doubt they will replace it with anything because he's a licensed character. And most cosmetics, I believe, cost more than 6,000.
They cost more than 6,000, is that
I
what you said?
believe so. I don't buy a lot of
Okay.
cosmetics. I save my points to
Right.
buy the survivors.
Right. And this is a cosmetic that you could apparently earn for free. You just
Yeah,
have to
it
get
was
25
side.
kills. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was
it's
the
more like an achievement-based cosmetic than like a purchasing one.
exactly.
Which is you love to see it.
I
You actually earn,
believe.
hey, here's a novel idea. Let's go back to the 90s and 2000s and hey, here's costumes you can unlock just by playing the game
Yeah,
for free,
it's like as
you
if
know?
you didn't have to tie them to NFTs. Oh wait, Dead by Daylight
Yes.
does have an NFT.
Do they really? I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah, Ghostface. I don't know if it's through Dead by Daylight, but
Hmm.
apparently the Ghostface uh, character, like his skin or one of his outfits, and that is an NFT.
That's terrible.
It
I don't like
is. Speaking of
it.
Ghostface, did you know the new Scream movie's coming out like
Did I know?
in a week?
Did I know?
Ghostface, new Scream movie
Oh, new Scream
is
movie. No, I
coming
did not
out
know
in
that.
like a week.
I did
I
not.
really want to see it because I like Ghostface. And they have the original Survivor. She's in it. Uh,
Nev Campbell?
yeah. No, is that who it was?
Really?
Who played her? The girl
I
who's
think
in the
so.
original. She's coming back.
I think it's Nev Campbell.
But yeah, um,
God,
sh
I haven't seen her in like years, like decades even.
you
Nev,
should.
how do you even? What does she look like now? Oh wow, she aged. Her face.
But yeah, they're bringing out a new movie, and I want to see it, but I'm not going to theaters, so I
You're
have to
not.
wait.
Did you say you're not going to theaters?
Nope. Fuck,
Okay.
fuck them. I not support. Me no like. So I'll
Right. I
wait.
understand.
I'm gonna wait
You wait
and
till Netflix or whatever,
yeah, I'll wait till
the
it comes out
online
on something,
streaming service,
or I'll wait until maybe one of my friends buys it on Blu-ray or something.
until maybe.
A friend buys it on Blu-ray.
Okay, we got that.
I'm talking
All right.
about.
Well, yeah. For the sake of your sanity, Chris, I think we should wrap things up
I think
here
we should.
because
So
we're done our news stories anyways,
yeah,
so we had
we're
nothing
done.
really
We're
left to
done.
talk
That's
about.
it.
So I think this will be the cutting off point. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Chris, I'll let you do the end
You'll let
scene here
you'll let me go first.
as
Well,
you usually do. Yes.
you could find me on YouTube's MrPrinceKaboom. Well, I haven't uploaded in a bit, but I haven't had time to be able to edit yada yada. So, but soon, hopefully. On Twitter, CSCHABANG. That's C shebang on Twitter. And on Twitch, I'm on Prince_Kaboom. I may be streaming later this week when I get things all set up because I want to do RE0, but we'll see what happens. And hopefully my
Uh,
audio. Apparently
you
not.
said you'll be streaming later this week, and then we didn't hear anything from you.
Maybe streaming later this week, but we'll see what happens with all my new setup in RE0.
Okay,
And
that sounds like fun.
hopefully I have audio issues dealt with. Hopefully this was just a Discord issue and not stream issue.
Yeah,
So
hopefully,
we'll see what
hopefully.
happens with this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you, where can they find you?
Uh, Twitter, Twitch, and sometimes YouTube. All the same name, Zorb_Zex. And yeah, haven't been streaming really consistently the last couple of weeks, aside from the podcast and our Tuesdays with Mandy playing It Takes Two. I was planning on streaming it today before the podcast. I think I already mentioned this. I wanted to stream some Hollow Knight a little bit for like a couple hours, but
Mm,
obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, I'm gonna try and really over the next couple of weeks, maybe not this week. This is kind of a bad week for me. maybe over after next week's done, we'll try and get a more consistent schedule like I used to have before I started this new job, and kind of try and stick to it and actually try and grow my channel again. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And yeah, on stream we're playing some Hollow Knight next. Probably we're going to try and finish that off. So
Nice.
yeah, look forward to that.
All right. I guess that's it for us. Take care, Sean. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good night. Have a good week.